Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of catching an object with the hands. He made a grab for the ball before it landed. Take hold of so as to seize or restrain or stop the motion of. Capture the attention or imagination of. This story will grab you. Get hold of or seize quickly and easily. A mechanical device for gripping an object. Make a grasping or snatching motion with the hand. The passenger grabbed for the oxygen mask. Obtain illegally or unscrupulously. Take or grasp suddenly. She grabbed the child's hand and ran out of the room. Reach with a blow or hit in a particular spot. Perceive with the senses quickly, suddenly, or momentarily. Ears open to catch every sound. Perceive by hearing. I didn't catch your name. The act of catching an object with the hands. Mays made the catch with his back to the plate. A drawback or difficulty that is not readily evident. It sounds good, but what's the catch? Suffer from the receipt of. She will catch hell for this behavior. See or watch. Take hold of so as to seize or restrain or stop the motion of. Hear, usually without the knowledge of the speakers. Succeed in catching or seizing, especially after a chase. Did you catch the thief? To hook or entangle. Apprehend and reproduce accurately. The quantity that was caught. The catch was only 10 fish. A restraint that checks the motion of something. Attract and fix. Capture as if by hunting, snaring, or trapping. Detect a blunder or misstep. The act of apprehending, especially apprehending a criminal. A person regarded as a good matrimonial prospect. Attract. Cause to be enamored. Catch up with and possibly overtake. Grasp with the mind or develop an understanding of. Did you catch that illusion? A break or check in the voice, usually a sign of strong emotion. A cooperative game in which a ball is passed back and forth. He played catch with his son in the backyard. A fastener that fastens or locks a door or window. Anything that is caught, especially if it is worth catching. He shared his catch with the others. Become aware of. Be struck or affected by. Catch fire. Be the catcher. Who is catching? Cause to become accidentally or suddenly caught, ensnared, or entangled. Check oneself during an action. She managed to catch herself before telling her boss what was on her mind. Contract. Did you catch a cold? Delay or hold up. Prevent from proceeding on schedule or as planned. Discover or come upon accidentally, suddenly, or unexpectedly. Catch somebody doing something or in a certain state. Get or regain something necessary, usually quickly or briefly. Catch one's breath. Reach in time. I have to catch a train at 7 o'clock. Spread or be communicated. The fashion did not catch. Start burning. Take in and retain. We have a big barrel to catch the rainwater. Move or strike with a noise. His arm was snapped forward. An informal photograph, usually made with a small handheld camera. My snapshots haven't been developed yet. Tender green beans without strings that easily snap into sections. The act of catching an object with the hands. The infielder's snap and throw was a single motion. Separate or cause to separate abruptly. The rope snapped. Cause to make a snapping sound. Snap your fingers. Lose control of one's emotions. When her baby died, she snapped. The tendency of a body to return to its original shape after it has been stretched or compressed. The waistband had lost its snap. Record on photographic film. She snapped a picture of the president. Break suddenly and abruptly, as under tension. The pipe snapped. A fastener used on clothing fastens with a snapping sound. Children can manage snaps better than buttons. A crisp round cookie flavored with ginger. Any undertaking that is easy to do. To grasp hastily or eagerly. Make a sharp sound. His fingers snapped. Utter in an angry, sharp, or abrupt tone. The sales clerk snapped a reply at the angry customer. A sudden sharp noise. He can hear the snap of a twig. American football. Putting the ball in play by passing it, between the legs, to a back. The quarterback fumbled the snap. A spell of cold weather. A cold snap in the middle of May. A sudden breaking. Bring the jaws together. He snapped indignantly. Close with a snapping motion. The lock snapped shut. Move with a snapping sound. Bullets snapped past us. Put in play with a snap. Snap a football. The act of snapping the fingers. Movement of a finger from the tip to the base of the thumb on the same hand. He gave his fingers a snap. The noise produced by the rapid movement of a finger from the tip to the base of the thumb on the same hand. Servants appeared at the snap of his fingers. A small fragment. Overheard snatches of their conversation. The act of catching an object with the hands. Martin's snatch at the bridle failed and the horse raced away. Law. The unlawful act of capturing and carrying away a person against their will and holding them in false imprisonment. To grasp hastily or eagerly. Before I could stop him, the dog snatched the ham bone. Take away to an undisclosed location against their will and usually in order to extract a ransom. Obscene terms for female genitals. A weight lift in which the barbell is lifted overhead in one rapid motion. To make grasping motions. The cat snatched at the butterflies. Take hold of so as to seize or restrain or stop the motion of. Take possession of by force, as after an invasion. The invaders seized the land and property of the inhabitants. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. The FBI seized the drugs. Take hold of, grab. The sales clerk quickly seized the money on the counter. Seize and take control without authority and possibly with force, take as one's right or possession. She seized control of the throne after her husband died. Effect. Fear seized the prisoners. Capture the attention or imagination of. The movie seized my imagination. Hook by a pull on the line. Take or capture by force. The terrorists seized the politicians. A simple jointed bit for a horse, without a curb. Get hold of or seize quickly and easily. Fit or restrain with a snaffle. Snaffle a horse. Get hold of or seize quickly and easily. The event of something coming in contact with the body. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. Arousing effect. His gratitude was simple and touching. A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with. Come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. A pedal or lever that engages or disengages a rotating shaft and a driving mechanism. He smoothly released the clutch with one foot and stepped on the gas with the other. A collection of things or persons to be handled together. Hold firmly, usually with one's hands. She clutched my arm when she got scared. Take hold of, grab. She clutched her purse. Effect. The act of grasping. A woman's strapless purse that is carried in the hand. A coupling that connects or disconnects driving and driven parts of a driving mechanism. This year's model has an improved clutch. A number of birds hatched at the same time. A tense critical situation. He is a good man in the clutch. Take hold of, grab. Cause to be interested or curious. To render motionless, as with a fixed stare or by arousing terror or awe. The snake charmer fascinates the cobra. Attract. Cause to be enamored. A crafty and involved plot to achieve your, usually sinister, ends. Form intrigues, in an underhand manner. Cause to be interested or curious. A clandestine love affair. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the dye. Require, time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. Take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require is useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. Experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Mechanism consisting of a device that works on mechanical principles. Give an incentive for action. This moved me to sacrifice my career. Be in a state of action. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. The soldiers moved towards the city in an attempt to take it before night fell. The act of changing location from one place to another. The movement of people from the farms to the cities. Cause to move or shift into a new position or place, both in a concrete and in an abstract sense. The director moved more responsibilities onto his new assistant. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. We must move quickly. The act of changing your residence or place of business. They say that 3 moves equal 1 fire. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Follow a procedure or take a course. A change of position that does not entail a change of location. Movement as a sign of life. Progress by being changed. Propose formally. In a debate or parliamentary meeting. Arouse sympathy or compassion in. Her fate moved us all. Change residence, affiliation, or place of employment. We moved from Idaho to Nebraska. Dispose of by selling. The chairman of the company told the salesman to move the computers. Game. A player's turn to take some action permitted by the rules of the game. Go or proceed from one point to another. The debate moved from family values to the economy. Live one's life in a specified environment. She moves in certain circles only. Move so as to change position, perform a non-translational motion. He moved his hand slightly to the right. The act of deciding to do something. He didn't make a move to help. Be valid, applicable, or true. Receive a specified treatment, abstract. Come into possession of. How did you obtain the visa? The topology of a network whose components are all connected directly to every other component. The act of interlocking or meshing. An open fabric of string or rope or wire woven together at regular intervals. Contact by fitting together. The meshing of gears. Coordinate in such a way that all parts work together effectively. Entangle or catch in, or as if in, a mesh. Keep engaged. The number of openings per linear inch of a screen. Measure size of particles. A 100 mesh screen. Work together in harmony. Baseball. A running catch made near the ground. The act of interlocking or meshing. An interlocking of arms by the police held the crowd in check. Contact by fitting together. Linked or locked closely together as by dovetailing. American football. A catch of a punt on the fly by a defensive player who has signaled that he will not run and so should not be tackled. The act of receiving. The manner in which something is greeted. She did not expect the cold reception she received from her superiors. A formal party of people, as after a wedding. American football. The act of catching a pass in football. The tight end made a great reception on the 20-yard line. Quality or fidelity of a received broadcast. A device that prevents an automotive engine from starting. Car. The Ives know how to bypass the ignition interlock. The act of interlocking or meshing. An interlocking of arms by the police held the crowd in check. Coordinate in such a way that all parts work together effectively. Hold in a locking position. Become engaged or intermeshed with one another. A movement back from an impact. Spring back. Spring away from an impact. Return to a former condition. A reaction to a crisis or setback or frustration. He is still on the rebound from his wife's death. The act of securing possession of the rebounding basketball after a missed shot. The act of interlocking or meshing. An open fabric of string or rope or wire woven together at regular intervals. Contact by fitting together. The meshing of gears. American football. The act of catching a football by a player on the opposing team. The act of intercepting. Preventing something from proceeding or arriving. He resorted to the interception of his daughter's letters. Astrology. A person who is born while the sun is in Pisces. Seek indirectly. Fish for compliments. The 12th sign of the zodiac. The sun is in this sign from about February 19th to March 20th. Any of various mostly cold-blooded aquatic vertebrates usually having scales and breathing through gills. The shark is a large fish. Catch or try to catch fish or shellfish. I like to go fishing on weekends. The flesh of fish used as food. In Japan, most fish is eaten raw. A spear with a shaft and barbed point for throwing. Used for catching large fish or whales. A strong line is attached to it. Spear with a harpoon. Harpoon whales. Anything that serves as an enticement. Make off with belongings of others. Approach with an offer of sexual favors. Take by theft. A golf shot that curves to the left for a right-handed golfer. He took lessons to cure his hooking. A sharp curve or crook. A shape resembling a hook. To cause, someone or oneself, to become dependent on something, especially a narcotic drug. A mechanical device that is curved or bent to suspend or hold or pull something. Make a piece of needlework by interlocking and looping thread with a hooked needle. Rip off. Ask an unreasonable price. Entice and trap. A basketball shot made over the head with the hand that is farther from the basket. A catch for locking a door. A curved or bent implement for suspending or pulling something. A short swinging punch delivered from the side with the elbow bent. Catch with a hook. Hook a fish. Fasten with a hook. Hit a ball and put a spin on it so that it travels to the left. Hit with a hook. His opponent hooked him badly. Secure with the foot. Hook the ball. Tap a telephone or telegraph wire to get information. Seize on its way. The fighter plane was ordered to intercept an aircraft that had entered the country's airspace. The point at which a line intersects a coordinate axis.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.